Hey, what's up, listener? Thanks for pressing play on this episode of the Jock and Nerd podcast. We got a bunch of MCU, DCEU, and Netflix news as we geek out over everything from Thor Ragnarok to Justice League, Deathstroke, Shazam, the new season of Stranger Things, and more.
Wowie zowie!
Plus, you're going to get our thoughts on the season 8 premiere of The Walking Dead and more reviews and emails, comments from you, our awesome listener, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Friday, October 27th, 2017.
Check. Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up. We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. I'm jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert.
What's up? Welcome, jocks. Welcome, nerds. Welcome, freaks. Welcome, geeks, and everybody in between. You are welcome right here, right now. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And he's the Ruggs. What's up, Ruggs? Welcome back.
What's up, dudes? How's it going?
It's
I'm
going.
back, motherfuckers.
Have they safely relocated you to a new undisclosed?
No,
boy.
No. Still
All right.
on the move.
All right. Well, just keep all your felty eyes in the back of your head open while you're recording this. If you
What is going on?
Yeah, remember the felty underground. They've been moving him around. I guess there's a backlog.
Yeah, I've been passed around.
There's a long list on that felty relocation list. Now, you have no idea how many of these puppets commit major crimes and have to be relocated. It's shocking.
I mean, the Felty Protection
You
Program.
guys are fucking insane. You guys are insane.
We're not insane, and I have an iTunes review to prove it. Look, you listener, if you are a new listener,
Every review that we get is always like Imran is off the wall or flamboyant or fucking crazy.
You're spoiling that. I've never been called what I was called in this review. Okay, look, let's just get to the review, because if you're a new listener, this is the show where we give you comic book, pop culture, superhero-related geek news, reviews, and sometimes interviews.
Haven't done an interview in a while.
But there's plenty of interviews in the back catalog. If you subscribe in the feed, there's lots of interviews there. I'm not lying. But look, don't take our word for it. I got another awesome review by Johnny from Yonkers that I'm going to share. And look, I understand it's a little masturbatory to read your own reviews on your own show. I get it. But what better way to find out what you're about to get into if you're a new listener and you're like, what's all this bullshit over here? Jock and Nerd. So this review starts, found my zone, 5 stars. I found this podcast about 3 months ago and always have a great time. Each of the guys brings their own unique perspectives to whatever subject matter they happen to be discussing each week. Imram is the nerd. That's all right.
Rimram.
You have an H in your name.
Yeah,
H, N, and M.
Listen, yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. I've never seen that one before.
Imram Emanuel.
Imranistan. Imram is the nerd and is always flamboyantly gleeful at all times. Anthony is the jock and seems to be more sedate and thoughtful. Together, they balance each other out and complement one another. They are usually accompanied by Rugg Boy, who is a puppet. I mean that in its most literal sense. You can actually go on YouTube and see all three interacting with one another and see there really is a puppet in the room giving commentary. Why this makes sense for a podcast, I will never know, but you can't argue that it's fun. I enjoy every episode and look forward to the day each one drops, even if I'm not particularly interested in that week's topics, which will occasionally happen. Let's be honest, the boys give us a solid hour of entertainment. I can't ask for more than that, nor can I recommend this podcast more highly if comic books and comic book movies, as well as things sci-fi in general, give you a geek boner. Geek boner. Please give this a try. You'll be happy you did. Thank you, Johnny from Yonkers.
I like Yonkers. It sounds like tits. Yeah. She's got huge Yonkers.
She had an amazing set of Yonkers on her.
Flamboyantly gleeful.
I've never been called flamboyantly gleeful. You get points for that description.
But that's the greatest thing is that Imran is the darkest motherfucker out there. Like, he's just like, this is all facade.
This is all how I deal with shit, people, by being just crazy and off the wall.
Yeah, it's all an act.
Inside, it's like the upside down in Stranger Things. Everything's rotting. There's a giant
and
monster.
I happen to be sedated.
And you're just calm, cool, collected. Another song.
Because he just came. That's why.
Always.
Anthony's always just finished jizzing.
So what you know about the jock is he's always post-coitus. He's always in that post-coitus glow.
I got laid today. I emptied out my pipes. I'm very even keel right now.
So I
don't have a demon on my back.
Oh, shit.
There is absolutely no testosterone flowing through me during the end of these podcasts.
It's a perfect balance. That's 0% testosterone all around, listener. Look, for this show, here's what we're going to do. We got a bunch of news to go over. Marvel, DC news, a couple of trailers, some Netflix shit, and then we are going to review The Return of the Walking Dead, the season 8.
Ooh, I got my shitting pants on.
Premiere. Hope you got your shitting pants, which you can actually buy. Negan shitting pants. We'll get to that in the second half. It's an actual product, listener.
Best line ever.
Yes.
Line.
Best/worst line. Absolutely. What a premiere it was, but I can't wait to talk about that. Before we get to the news, though, I got to mention, if you listened to last week's episode, we had that weird phone call in the middle from David Malofsky, our buddy and listener, place to hang your cape. Scott Meridew was missing. Well, this week, the Podcapers special episode will be out, and all the mystery is solved. We find out what happens to Scott. I will put a link to the show notes for this episode, jockandnerd.com/192. Listener, give it a listen. You may hear some familiar voices, some familiar characters.
Voice acting.
With a little bit of voice acting.
Mark Hamill, watch out.
Are we on this?
It's our first foray into voiceover acting. Oh, my God.
Mark Hamill and what's his face? Kevin Conroy.
We're coming for your job, motherfucker. Mark Hamill.
I'm available. Yes. Contact me.
Yes.
For voiceover work.
Rug Boy should be the new voice of the Joker. Absolutely. Podcapers Halloween episode this week. Lots of things coming out this week and today. Let's get to the news and sort it all out, fellas.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
You want to get in touch with the show? You know what you need to do. Just visit jockandnerd.com/contact, where you will find all our Twitter accounts, one account, Facebook page, email. You can send us your voice. And you can join our awesome Facebook group. And we got some new members. I got to give some shout outs because I told them I would. First of all, shout out to Tane Reese, who joined just the other day. And I didn't butcher his name because Matt Delhauer was smart enough to ask him in the thread how to pronounce your name.
I like him already.
Right? Tane Reese is great. And all day long, I was singing the Tay Zonde classic and replacing his name. So I was walking around going, Chocolate Tane. Now he listens to our show, Chocolate Tane.
How do you know is he chocolate?
No, I don't know. I love chocolate.
That's an allegation.
And the guy's name is Tane. So,
all right.
Look, we're all a little chocolate on the inside, just like we're all have a little rug boy on the inside. Also, just today, Ryan Lipscomb joined. Listener Ryan Lipscomb, welcome to the group. We can't wait to meet you. I want to meet all you listeners. I love getting to know everyone's name. Tane also sent us an email, so he's going to double shout out. There's an email from Tane, Chocolate Tane, at the end of the show. That's your new nickname, by the way, Tane. Thanks for listening. Okay, let's start with the MCU.
Just roll with it.
Thor Ragnarok out this week in the U.S., and I'm totally jealous because it came out yesterday everywhere else, meaning Australia, the U.K., but like a bunch of other territories, which we're getting early reactions. Again, on our Facebook group, Wes Cranford had an early reaction. It wasn't a favorable reaction, which I found interesting. So,
that gives me a little bit of pause.
Did we talk about the Rotten Tomatoes update on it?
What's the update? I'm looking at the tomato meter. Okay, give us the update.
Tomato meter, which is you shouldn't look at, but people do.
Right,
95%.
Not bad.
Average rating 7.7, so pretty solid film.
High 7.7, 104 ratings. People are saying this is the best movie, MCU movie
really?
yet. The hyperbole of funniest Marvel movie.
It's the funniest one yet, which is the hyperbole with every MCU movie.
It really is. Every MCU movie is the funniest movie ever.
And the best Thor movie, which isn't hard to
Well, we knew
that's a layup.
Yeah, you knew it was going to be the best Thor movie. It can't be worse than the first two. I'll tell you one guy who does like it, and that's the Joss Whedon. And even though he's not affiliated with Marvel Studios anymore, he just directed a little bit of Justice League. Here's what he says on Twitter. Here's the thing. Taika Waititi has made a modern masterpiece. Epic, hilarious, gorgeous, heartfelt, and hilarious. I'm so happy. #hilarious. He really likes the movie. So
I'm going to say I probably will like the movie, although I am a little bit worried about it being too jokey.
Yes. The more we got closer, the more I was like, oh, this thing's going to be all jokes. This is going to be the funniest Thor movie ever. Listener, if you've seen the movie, send us your thoughts. If you live overseas, you've seen it. We'll include it in our review. It's already made $28 million yesterday in the international box office. So that could be like $100 million opening weekend at that pace.
We'll
just
see.
Even before it opens here. So that's pretty crazy.
It'll do well.
It will do well. Ruggs, are you afraid it's going to be all comedy?
Well, I'm going to withhold my opinion until I see it.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling, from what I'm hearing, that it's going to be more like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And if that's the case, I didn't really love that movie. And I feel like, I don't know if that's the right direction Marvel should be going in. But hey, we'll see. Maybe it's going to hit me right. Guardians did not. The jokes were flat and forced to me. So a lot of people disagree, and that's fine. But for me, I thought it was a little flat.
Well, the thing about Thor that's happened since the first two is that Chris Hemsworth, say that 5 times fast, has been discovered as more of a comedy actor. He's a lot better at comedy than he is at anything else. So I think he went into this movie and was like, let's bring that out of me.
I don't mind Thor being like jovial and kind of the butt of jokes, or even like kind of clues, but everything else around him shouldn't be like, if Loki is joking, that ruins Loki. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because Loki is kind of like not really a mirthy guy.
No, it comes down to, is Waititi's sense of humor going to be a good fit with, Thor and Chris's performance?
I will say that the other 2 Thor movies, although I enjoyed them, didn't fully click. So if they're going to go in a little bit of a different direction, which it looks like they have, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
I mean, I think Thor clicked better in the non-Thor movies, from the Joss Whedon and the others.
Yeah. There's elements that work and don't, and we could go into a big Thor review, but we're not going to do that.
Well, no, we're not. But I wanted to mention IO9 talked to Taika Waititi, and they asked him, you got this unique comedy sense. What other characters do you think your brand of humor might fit with? And he said, in all honesty, I reckon I could probably bring something pretty unique to any of the franchises. So I'd love to see Black Widow.
Oh, shit.
He would make a Marvel comedy with Black Widow. Crazy enough to work, or what? Why pick the Widow?
Black Widow.
Yeah, I mean, I think of that SNL skit where they made like a Black Widow rom-com, but that was like obviously over the top.
I mean, I don't think they'd let him go full out funny Black Widow, but I mean, they always have comedy in Marvel films, so
yeah. And Black Widow has yet to get a solo movie. He says we know her story. It's very sullen and dark, and her history is very dark. But what's the funny version of that? What's the more entertaining version of that? In a way, it could work if you think of like the Hawkeye solo book that was out a couple years ago. That was kind of like a dry, dark comedy. Like you could do kind of like a weird dark comedy with Black Widow. I just thought, like, of all the people to pick to do a comedy, he says Black Widow. Very weird.
I'm not quite sold on that.
In other Marvel Fox news, you guys, this Venom movie is going to be made. They started production this week. They actually started production on this Venom movie for next October. Tom Hardy playing Venom, also starring Riz Ahmed, Michelle Williams, and Reed Scott. First of all, I was surprised that I was like, oh shit, this is actually happening. But Andy Serkis let it slip that Venom is going to be mocapped.
Well, what else is it going to be? Of course it's going to be CGI.
It's going to be all CGI.
Big secret.
Yeah, well, okay. So he says, talking to Yahoo News, he's talking about this mocap technology. He says, acting is acting, and the more actors like Steve Zahn and Karen Konoval, who play Maurice in War for the Planet of the Apes, the more A-list actors that come on board, like Mark Rylance playing the BFG, or a lot of actors in the new Marvel films. He said before mentioning that Tom Hardy is playing a new character using performance capture. He didn't say Venom, but what other character could he be talking about? If Serkis is like coaching Hardy for mocap for Venom, that's pretty cool.
Tom Hardy as Venom is the only thing that interests me. as far as this movie. I still don't think it's a good idea, but Tom Hardy in that role.
Venom's pretty expressive.
Yes.
And, you can do a lot with Venom. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Because, of course he's going to be CG. There's no question about it.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that this movie's being made at all. They're actually doing it.
Let's see what happens.
They weren't bluffing.
That's gonna be my thing for today. I'm gonna say that with everything.
Let's just see how the cookie crumbles. Boo. Okay, so speaking of Andy Serkis and mocap technology, there's a deleted scene that came out for War from Planet of the Apes, which is cool at a couple of levels. First, it shows you it's pre the CGI, so you see Serkis with all the dots acting his fucking ass off because he's awesome. But this clip explains what happens to Malcolm. Jason Clarke's character from, what was that, Dawn? Rise, the second one? So I watched this clip, and basically it's Caesar talking to Woody Harrelson as the Colonel, and the Colonel says that he had crossed paths with Malcolm, and Malcolm had told him about Caesar and said that he is a great leader, that you should go talk to him. And then Caesar's like, what happened to Malcolm? And then the Colonel's like, well, I shot him. And that's pretty much the whole scene. So basically, the Colonel runs in to Jason Clarke, which seems very convenient, and he shot him. So this is why it's a deleted scene.
I agree with this article. I like that that's not in there.
Yeah.
Because I like that actually these movies never actually continued the through line of any of the human characters.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Why would these human characters last this long? And why would they cross paths?
Right.
And it makes sense that they would all die or find their own way and leave this journey.
None of them are in the other movies. And like it says here, we already know the Colonel is evil. So that the scene doesn't do anything. It's just a little like closure for the first one. So that's cool. It's cool to see actual Andy Serkis's face.
You like his face?
I like his face. Oh, we'll see him in Black Panther. In a full.
He's the claw.
He's the claw, and he's got
Ulysses
like the weapon,
claw,
like from the guy in the comics.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. One of the only two white people in the movie. Where's our White Panther? What about us? Where's my vitiligo panther? I deserve for the vitiligo sufferers. We should have
calico.
Yeah, we should have a calico cat panther. Vitiligo panther. It's so stupid. Yeah. No, that's fine. You don't have to do that.
Isn't
there's
a
no
panther
outrage.
already like basically a form of vitiligo?
We talked about it. It's the reverse. The spots go away, and he's got reverse vitiligo.
Imran finds a way to shoehorn it into every conversation.
It's in my contract, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
How much are you getting paid on the contract?
Pennies.
The Society for Vitiligo Awareness cuts them a check every show.
Siva. They're called Siva. Siva comes there. It's worse as PETA. They will throw black and white paint on you.
All over you.
They will just throw white.
They should just start throwing PETA at people.
Like people from PETA.
How does that work?
Or like PETA in like PETA bread.
Like PETA bread.
Oh, PETA bread. Yeah. Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
Or
PETA
actually like workers of PETA like throw their physical body at people.
PETA should throw dried up hard
I like the
pitas.
bread better.
Yes,
because,
bread.
Who doesn't like pita bread?
At least it's got a pocket in it. You open it, there's a pocket. You put shit in there. It's a little envelope. It's a little delicious wheat gluten envelope. Oh, I love pita bread.
You can wear it as a hat.
Pita Inn was some great junk food.
You could put it on your hand like mittens. Like there's so many things you could do. Pita Inn in Chicago is the best fucking Middle Eastern food you're gonna find here for the money. Okay, enough about fucking food. This isn't a food podcast.
It could be.
This is the podcast where we shit on anything Zack Snyder is part of. And that is the Justice League, people. The whole the runtime confusion.
Kevin Haldon making himself look like a moron.
A little bit now. Kevin Haldon did post on our Facebook group a post from some Indian dude named Vinay confirming
great source
that Justice League was going to be like 2 hours and 50 minutes. Well, the runtime is out, and guess what, motherfuckers? This movie comes in at 121 minutes, 2 hours, 1 minute, making it the shortest DCEU movie yet.
Oh, shit.
Which makes it automatically better than Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah. So, look, here's the numbers. Man of Steel, 143 minutes long. BVS, 151 minutes. Suicide Squad, 123. Wonder Woman, 141. Justice League will be rated PG-13. And honestly, I think that first of all, we know this 2-hour, 50-minute version exists somewhere. It's going to be on the Blu-ray like the 2 days after the movie comes out.
Yeah, when
absolutely
this movie gets terrible reviews and they're like, oh no, this is what we really wanted.
And I still think it's 50 minutes of dream sequences within flashbacks. That's what I think that's 50 minutes.
The reason why they did this 121-minute cut is to make more money. That's all.
You can play it more. Yeah, you can have more showings.
That's right. They need as many showings. They need to cram in as many showings opening weekend so they can make the most money before they start getting the negative press.
I mean, honestly, I think this may, like, the Screen Rant has an article saying this is a good thing. Like, why this is good. I think it's a good thing because it's going to force them to fucking cut out all the bullshit. And they even, like, break down, like, look, in a 2-hour movie, you could do this 3-arc story solidly. And 3 arcs being Bruce gets the team together. Then they got to fight Darkseid in the middle and they lose. Then third act, fucking Superman comes back and helps him out, and everybody wins. And then
the more time
you give Zack Snyder, the more time he has to screw it up.
The more slow-mo shots, just taking up space.
They just cut out all the dream sequences.
All the dream sequences.
Half of the slow-mo.
Cut out the trailer for the next, like, 5 films.
Yes, cut out anything setting up the next fucking movie or any other movie. You're not doing. Look, again, this movie has to introduce
Batman versus Superman needed less runtime and more runtime at the same exact time.
Yes, this is what I'm really like. Cutting it down could be a good thing, but can it also really the editing could be all fucked. This is a movie with technically 7 main characters, dozens of supporting characters. We haven't even met 3 of the Justice League. They have to set all that shit up in 2 hours and 1 minute.
You're forgetting about the Green Lantern.
There's going to be probably post-credit scene with the 7th dude. Well, there's 6, and there's going to be... I don't fucking know. We got Dirtbag Aquaman.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Early box office tracking saying 110 to 100... Wait, what is this? 110 to 120 million now? Yeah.
Cool.
In the U.S. and...
It can do it.
Ruggs, do you think now that Punisher is coming out the same day as Justice League, do you think Justice League opening weekend box office is going to take a hit?
What, that Punisher's coming out on Netflix?
Punisher is dropping on Netflix.
Did you ask me this last week?
No.
Yeah, I asked you this last week.
No.
No, you don't think
Absolutely not. No, because Netflix is always going to be there.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I talked to some people who were like, I'm going to watch Punisher first and fuck Justice League. And Anthony, last week, you said you would go see Justice League because Netflix is going to be there. Ruggs, what do you do on the 17th? What do you do?
I never go watch big movies when they open.
Okay.
I always wait for the following week when the theater's not like a fucking madhouse.
Well, you're fucking up their opening box already.
Yeah, so fuck the opening weekend.
Just in general.
What movie will make more money? I mean, I would think this movie will, but
more than
Justice
Thor.
League or Thor.
Yeah, and
America.
the 2 weeks in between, will Thor still
America
be a
is the
thing?
only place that really counts.
I think that maybe Justice League will edge out the Thor in the opening weekend, but Thor will kill it in the long run.
There's no way that should happen, by the way. Justice League should kill it.
I think, Ruggs, you may be right. I feel like Justice League's going to have a huge drop, just like BVS did, and Thor will have legs because people are just going to have a blast and be like, this is the funniest movie ever.
I'm going to lean towards Justice League just because I just can't believe that a Thor movie would beat a Justice League movie, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Look, Thor's already got good hype.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right? It's got a 98 on the tomatometer, whatever that is. Tomatometer. Your mometer.
Your mama's mometer.
And it's... people like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, even though it wasn't the greatest movie. So if they're going in with that same bar set right there, and they're like, oh, I want it to be funny like Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're going to accept that, it's going to do great.
The Guardians is kind of a good lead into this, to your point. They've already got them in mood for a sci-fi space epic that's really funny. Yeah. Now you want to see more of that. So look, Justice League is supposed to be their Avengers. The Avengers opened to $200 million on its opening weekend.
Avengers also, though.
But they had a big lead up of 4 years.
They had that big cute build up. It was the first time. This isn't the first time now.
This isn't.
But did you notice the marketing on Thor? How they're pushing the team aspect?
Yeah, the Revengers.
Oh, they're trying to go up against the Justice League.
I'm forming a team. And then they said the big guy, this guy, and that guy. So they're basically doing a backdoor team.
Yeah. And it's like a buddy space movie with Hulk and Thor and Doctor Strange and Valkyrie. And
it's not really a solo movie anymore.
No, it's definitely an ensemble movie. And we've seen in Civil War, even these like solo movies become these like awesome ensemble movies.
Right.
Which
You're an ensemble movie.
I'm a vitiligo ensemble. A little bit of brown. I can't wait till this comes out. I will be there.
For what? Thor or Justice League?
Fuck Thor mostly, then Justice League.
That's the order it's coming out in, so you're good.
So Justice League, I want to be there to watch the train wreck. I'm getting another BVS vibe. Like I want to be there to watch this train wreck day one.
I find it curious that Justice League is coming out in less than a month, and we're not seeing any reviews.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling that I'm going to like this movie, Justice League, better than Thor.
Whoa. Holy shit. Okay, prediction.
I have a feeling because
there's a prediction.
If I come out of it with Guardians of the Galaxy 2 feels, where I feel like there's too many forced jokes and they're dropping the ball.
Blow it for you.
I might like a straight up comic translation that looks like a living comic book.
With a fucking dirtbag Aquaman and a goofy idiot Flash.
Yeah, those characters are not quite right, but I mean, still, the Flash does crack jokes.
He does crack jokes.
And is lighthearted.
Yes.
All right, so that's kind of not off target that much, but douchebag Aquaman is kind of an improvement in a way. But it's Namor. They're basically doing Namor.
Oh yeah. Namor's a dick.
So
he's got to be a dick.
He's Dickwaman.
Sticking with the DCEU, here's a bit of news that we are officially supposed to announce that has given John Bellotti wood.
So wait, this news here, it's official?
It is.
Oh, you got to play like a special bumper for this.
Is it official? Really?
I saw.
I thought it was in talks. Well, go ahead. Say what we're talking about.
I think so. They have cast the next movie DCEU is going to do after Aquaman. They have announced Shazam, and they have. I'm jumping ahead. That's official. Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah. No, you're gonna have to edit this out because now it's a whole fucking mess.
No, leave it the way it is so the Imran looks like a moron.
I jumped to the next thing. This is not official.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. This Shazam does not give John Bellotti any kind of sensation in this penis area.
Shazam may give Bellotti wood.
No.
I totally jumped to the next thing. Bellotti has wood over the fact that the Raid director, Gareth Evans, is in talks to do a solo Deathstroke movie.
Oh, shit. Geek boner.
Deathstroke just will not die. Look, we saw a version of him in a teased clip from Ben Affleck, and we thought he was going to be in the Justice League. Now that Joss Whedon has finished the movie, I don't think he's going to be in there. Then when Ben Affleck was going to write and direct the Batman solo movie, we thought Deathstroke, Joe Manganiello, would play Deathstroke in the Batman movie. Well, Matt Reeves is not the director. He's thrown out Affleck's script. He's starting from scratch.
What was that Joker movie that was rumored?
The Joker origin movie?
Yeah, who was going to do that?
Scorsese, produced by Scorsese. They're trying to get fucking DiCaprio.
That's the thing. I can't get too excited about this because there's always these rumors, but.
So Bellotti has wood because of the pick of the director. And this isn't the Godzilla guy. I kept reading this as Gareth Edwards. I was like, oh, the guy. And it's not. This is the other Gareth that we got confused all the time when we talk about Gareth Edwards. Gareth Evans, who's done The Raid and The Raid 2. And I watched the trailers for The Raid and The Raid 2. And I'll tell you.
You've never seen these?
You gotta watch
just
throw on the action scenes and you'll be like,
yes.
Oh, okay. That's why Bellotti's excited.
The Raid came out in 2011, Raid 2 in 2014, and just by watching some clips and the trailer, you get a clear indication that this motherfucker knows how to direct some action scenes, like John Woo style action scenes.
Yeah, he incorporated a lot of MMA moves into the martial arts typical stuff that comes out of Hong Kong. Actually, this is I don't know if it's Hong Kong movies. It's
he's a Welsh guy who just is into martial arts.
I don't know if the movies are actually they're from the Hong Kong scene or from another.
They're not in English, right?
No, they're not in English. I don't.
Yep. They are Indonesian.
Okay. So before I speak, about the wrong area of the country that we're talking about, because I don't want to generalize, but anyway, the typical stuff that you get is either Thai, like Ong Bak, or you get the karate stuff or whatever,
Chinese
kung fu stuff, the wushu stuff that you get out of the Hong Kong. So this is a whole new brand of action, and it's kind of bone breaking. It's hard hitting and it's very well directed, and the movie's really cool. So it's nonstop action the whole movie. It serves Deathstroke really well because if this guy knows about how to make a martial arts action sequence that's different and new and fresh, that's what you need in Deathstroke, because we've seen so many John Wicks and, Matrixes and all these other fucking movies over.
Don't forget Deadpool, too, which is everyone confuses Deathstroke with.
Yes. So it has to be different. It has to be completely branded differently. It's got to be a martial arts film.
Yeah, it reminded me, his stuff reminded me a little bit of, what obviously inspired John Wick. And not only martial arts, the gunplay, the weapon play is fucking brutal.
I mean, you see the influence in Daredevil season 1.
Oh yeah. I gotta watch these movies. I will look up the clips, but that's why Bilotti has wood, because this director is getting a shot at a big budget movie. Now, here's the thing: the DCEU, they got 17 movies in development. Who knows when the fuck this thing is ever going to make?
And a lot of their stuff falls apart.
Yes, some of it never gets made. This is an exciting announcement that they're in talks. Hopefully it works out and he gets to do it. Because, I watched the trailer and then I just I pictured Deathstroke in the scene and I was like, holy shit, that would be amazing. Deathstroke, Manu Bennett back on Arrow, new season also. So you get Deathstroke there.
Twice the stroke.
Twice the Deathstroke. 2 strokes are better than 1.
Lots of death. 2 strokes. 2 strokes and then you're dead. He should have.
Okay, we think we've beat this to death.
He should have a catchphrase
we beat it up.
Deathstroke should be
you beat the shit out of this.
Time to stroke out. If Arnold played Deathstroke,
that's
what he would do. Okay, look now. Next, let's move on to the news story that I confused with this one, and that is Shazam has been cast. They've cast the Shazam. This what I was talking about before. This is the next DCEU movie that they said they're making after Aquaman, pushing Flashpoint back because I still don't think that has a director or a script, or they don't know what they're doing. But playing Shazam, the adult version, is Zachary Levi, who is Chuck from TV's Chuck.
He was in Thor too. He's
in. We will see him in Ragnarok. He's in Ragnarok also.
Really? He was in Dark World.
And he's in Dark World.
He wasn't in the original
minor Thor role, but. You guys remember Chuck? Would you look at that guy and be like, oh, yeah, he'd make a good Shazam? I don't know.
Well, he's really tall.
He's tall. He can bulk up a little.
And I wouldn't. He's not the first person you think of, but he can definitely.
It's going to be the suit, though. The suit's going to do everything. They're just going to put the muscle pads in there, and that'll be that.
He's got a good comedic chop. But the director, David F. Sandberg, is a horror director. He did Conjuring, Annabelle's Creation, and the Conjuring universe, and a movie called Lights Out.
Well, if they do Shazam the way they've been doing him lately, he'll be this big buff dude that acts like a child.
Because he's Billy Batson. He's a little kid. Right. And then I'm sad John Cena didn't get the role. I don't know. He's supposed to be in Ragnarok too. Remember a year ago we were like, John.
You're sad that John Cena didn't get to be.
No, I'm not. He looks like Shazam.
Wow.
That's all.
No, he doesn't.
No?
He looks like John Cena.
So, and I guess the last article in Hollywood Reporter, it says the film is being developed concurrently with a film focusing on Shazam villain Black Adam to star Dwayne Johnson.
Who's going to be the little boy?
I don't know. Who would you pick? Somebody from Stranger Things, no doubt.
I can't think of a little boy.
Just grab one of the fucking Stranger Things kids.
You got to grab a punk ass little boy.
Yeah, because he was like a little pickpocket,
a little
street urchin.
Right.
And then an old man finds him and doesn't molest him and gives him powers, which that never happens.
Oh, shit.
You're saying that from experience?
I can't even follow that.
Okay, last thing in movie news. Guys, Regal Cinema is trying something weird.
This is funny to me.
They're gonna toy with something called dynamic pricing.
Don't something called dynamic pricing. Come on, don't be that naive. Dynamic pricing's been around.
Oh, okay. They're gonna attempt dynamic pricing. Let me ask you this, just as a moviegoer, you go to the movie theater and there's a big budget movie like Justice League, and then there's a shit movie like Geostorm. One movie is like $20. Justice League, Geostorm, shit movie, $5. Which one do you go see?
Well, if you're a cheap bastard, you go see Geostorm.
They're testing dynamic pricing next year at select theaters. You would pay more for a hit film, but less for a flop.
Oh, shit.
But that's the greatest thing. It's like you automatically get branded as a shitty movie.
Yes, just by the price point.
That's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, the price point is funny. I'll throw in, though, that this happens already in sports. Like better teams that come into town get
the premier teams, sure.
Yeah. Also, this happens already in movie theaters. If you go during the fucking matinee,
that's a good point. That's not based on the success of the movie, though.
Right,
this is very
but
weird.
I'm saying people are kind of used to paying different prices for different times.
Honestly,
But this is funny though. I didn't think of the Rug Boys point of it branding a shitty movie.
Don't worry about
It's like your movie's shitty. Guess what? It's $5.
I honestly think it will help these shittier movies. Like, I think it would get more people to be like, fuck it, let's go. I will go be like,
can I have 2 tickets to the shitty movie?
I'll be like $5. I'll go see this. Fuck it. If Star Wars is like $30 now.
I want to see the steaming pile of dog shit movie, please.
Wouldn't that be the opposite effect? Is like, damn, that movie sucks. I'm not seeing that movie.
And now they have like no. That's just weird.
That is a weird thing. The dynamic pricing. Who decides that?
Yes. How do you decide? What decides what's a flop and what's not? What's a success? Like how?
Right.
Like so, if it's $15 average ticket price, like you may pay $20 for the better movie, $10 to see the shittier movie.
Or will it be like when the movie is on its like last legs? Will they cut down the price?
See, I would like that. I think like the last week of the run of the movie, you cut the fucking ticket price in half. I will go see it again and again. Like a good movie. I don't know.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think this will affect my movie spending habits at all.
But then like they bring up a good point. Like sleeper hits like Get Out, would they even get a chance to compete? It's just weird because you think the product is the same. Everything was even priced despite the matinee pricing, whatever.
Right.
It just this.
Yeah, I would keep it just the same price.
Yeah.
Not thinking business wise, but I would keep it the same price just because. How the fuck do you decide?
I don't know. Do you go by like Rotten Tomato scores and then those numbers became even more important? Like now they're actually affecting the box office because anything 80 and above costs more or something. That would be fucked up. I don't know.
I feel like it's a marketing disaster.
The rise of pirating media, people. This is it.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at this article. So let's say Regal does this. This is pointed out in the article. They charge you $20 to see Star Wars. But AMC, right down the street, doesn't do dynamic pricing. They're doing your $15 price.
Nobody's going to Regal.
Why the fuck am I going to Regal?
See, for it to work, everyone would have to do it.
Right.
Otherwise.
Unless Regal's like stepping up their movie theater game and giving you like a fucking blowjob while you watch the movie. I was going to say,
what do you get, a fucking handy?
Whoa.
You get a fucking reach around while you're watching the movie?
I was going to say free popcorn, but hey,
I was going to say like caramel corn, but he that escalated quickly.
Hey, it's dark in there. I don't care what gets on there.
There's a hole in my popcorn bucket. I don't know why. What am I supposed to do with that? Yeah. Well, look, if you get foot massages when you pay the $20, maybe I'll go fucking see the Regal. But yeah, I'll probably try it and then just abandon it because it's stupid and it's not going to work.
Or maybe it'll work.
Or it's the new model of going to the theater.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Moving on to more we'll see shit. On the small screen, I got a couple of trailers from the Netflix. The Godzilla Monster Planet anime. It's got another trailer, and you see a lot of Godzilla in this trailer. It's pretty cool. It's all in Japanese in the beginning.
Yeah, I found that dubious.
So I imagine they're saying things like, oh, there's Godzilla, and we have all this future tech, yet we all have similar haircuts and pointy chins. I don't know why. And then Godzilla shows up and blasts shit. So do you want to know what they're saying? Does that affect your, like, am I going to watch this?
Well, if you're watching a trailer to a movie, you should have some sense of what they're saying.
Yeah, why don't they just put captions on this fucking thing?
That just seems odd to me that they wouldn't put captions on it.
I like the way Godzilla looks, though. It's pretty. He's.
I'm the jury's out for me.
We'll see.
I think that he looks okay.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But
what do you mean? We'll see. We can look at it.
Oh yeah, it's right here. What do you think, Anthony?
I'm not that excited about this, just because I'm not really into anime.
Yeah.
But I do like the way Godzilla looks.
Yeah.
He's not my all-time favorite design, but I can get with this.
It's like
I like it better than Shin.
Yeah. I do kind of like it. I like it better.
Marginally better than Shin. Yeah. Yes.
But he's fighting like spaceships and there's
robots
flying
and shit. There's like one shot where he like jumps on something. I don't know if I like that.
Oh, he's jumping.
I don't know if that's him.
No, that's not him.
That's a flying. It's one of the flying kaijus.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's some shit that lives inside of him, like they're like parasites.
Oh, that's kind of
like feed off of.
That was
Godzilla.
in. They had that in Godzilla Returns or 84, 85. He had giant parasites. They're in the beginning of that movie.
Yeah,
one of the guys kills the parasite
inside him.
It's like giant crabs that were living on.
They're like living on
lice.
Lice. It was fucking actually kind of creepy. It was pretty genius.
Yeah, and then they ripped that off in Cloverfield.
Oh, did they? I never seen Cloverfield.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta.
You never saw Cloverfield?
No. I don't watch things.
Did he have crabs from skanky kaiju sex? Is that what happened?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they're all in his like pubic region.
Yeah.
Just wait till.
So yeah, don't get underneath him.
Just wait till he meets Ramadan and Ghetto Robo. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Oh shit.
That's
Oh
a
fuck, that is deep cuts. You got to like really pay attention to our show.
major team up.
That's for like 4 guys. Don't get that.
4 kaiju nerds that listen. Okay, the other trailer for a movie, and we have a release date, is Bright. David Ayer's Bright, starring Will Smith, in this sci-fi fantasy buddy cop film that's coming out December 22nd. In this trailer, you get a little more story, a little more tone. You find out the magic wand is like a nuclear weapon. There's elves. There's a couple of funny jokes. What'd you guys think of this second trailer?
I try to reconcile this. Like, I'm like, okay, what am I watching here? But then I made sense of it. I was like, what if Lord of the Rings really happened and it was like a long time ago? And the world just continued, and the races these races that are in Lord of the Rings are present in today's world.
That's kind of what it is. That's interesting. They just continue to live, and then man involved, and now orcs are like gangsters and shit in South Central.
They just somehow learned to live together in a certain kind of a tentative peace.
Anthony, what'd you think of this?
I like the first trailer better.
Oh, really?
I think this one it didn't sell me as hard as the first trailer. I do enjoy the music.
I wanted to mention the music.
I do enjoy the music. I do like that it kind of just doesn't really make any sense. Like, I don't really know what I'm like, it's orcs like and elves and shit and magic thrown into Southeast LA, South Central LA.
Well, I just explained it.
Yeah.
That's why.
But like, I don't know if that's actually what it is.
I'm gonna say with like 70% certainty that's not Lord of the Rings, but something to that nature.
Like, these things were always kind of like a Game of Thrones. Like, these things were always fairy tales, but they ended up being real, and they're around.
Well,
and
the
they
orcs
integrate
are
with
like
society.
the shitheads.
It's just a different reality.
I don't know. I mean, you got like a bunch of different things going. You got like Will Smith, Joel Edgerton, everything we just talked about. Who's directing again?
David Ayer from Suicide Squad.
You got the funky music. You got it on Netflix. Like, this could all like either be a huge train wreck or be like something. Right. And it's cute.
I think it'll be meh at worst.
Yeah. You know what? That Shrek line, like, I was totally expecting a Shrek line, and then he said it, and it was kind of funny because there's a lot of swearing in the trailer, but I was like, look, he's like, go back to Fiona, you Shrek-looking motherfucker, or something.
I'm hoping that this doesn't. I don't know what they're expecting it to do. I don't know how Netflix works.
There's no numbers.
There's no box office or
more
anything
subscribers.
Like that, so.
That's all they want. Now,
wait, real quick. Though.
Yeah.
I do get the sense though that David Ayer is a big tryhard.
Yeah.
In that he just kind of throws everything at you, sort of like Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
so
see what happens. See what sticks.
See. I get just especially after Suicide Squad and how that film came off as trying really hard to impress you.
Well, and like, we don't really know like how much they reshot and cut up and changed his thing. It could have been all,
there's no subtlety, it seems like to me, what David Ayer does.
Now, I did love.
I'm gonna throw a shit ton of pop culture at you, along with some weird shit, and we'll see what happens.
Music. I love the music. We talked a lot about music and trailers last week. I really enjoyed this new, and I know the soundtrack's current because there's names of people I've just heard of in the periphery. So I'm like, oh, this must be current. Anthony, you probably know these guys.
Oh, I do.
Migos and Marshmello.
Well, no, Migos is different than Marshmello.
Okay, but there's a track where they're both on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Future. I've heard of Future.
Yeah,
I think I like Lil Uzi Vert. I hate that name. And Steve Aoki, I've heard.
Yeah,
in the EDM.
That's all like prime pop culture, hip hop, and EDM.
Yeah, you got mumble rap in there, rap, somewhat lucid rap in there, and you got a famous DJ in there. And I don't know about Uzi Vert.
I think he's a rapper.
Uzi Vert is a rapper as well.
Is he mumbly?
Does he mumble?
Sort of. He's kind of like a mumbler, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
I honestly. Lil Uzi Vert, I get confused with like 5 other rappers.
Yes.
So
there's Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi Vert. They're all Lil Yachty, fucking something.
Well, Marshmello is like the current. He's like the EDM, the DJ that sounds like chipmunks.
Okay,
are singing all the time. And Steve Aoki's been around for a while, but he's He's pretty popular.
I think the
as well.
song in the trailer is Migos and Marshmello. I like the beats.
I've liked both songs. The first trailer had a better song. It had I think Ty Dolla $ign on it.
He's on the soundtrack too.
And it was actually pretty decent.
They are also on the soundtrack. So pretty fucking contemporary hip soundtrack, I guess, because I don't know any of these people, so I'm just assuming, wow, what a hip soundtrack. I've never heard of these people.
It is a hip soundtrack. It is a soundtrack that will date itself immediately.
Oh, yes. Okay. So kind of like the new metal on Daredevil 2003.
Yeah. It's
same effect.
It's like a snapshot of what's wrong with America.
And that kind of
Oh shit!
Wow,
that works on Netflix.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it, but I know that it's not great.
It works on Netflix.
Yeah, it'll be gone. And no one will give a shit about
that's going to last.
No, and when the music gets stale, Netflix just takes the movie off and never puts it back on. You know, that's the beauty of the Netflix. They could take shit on and off.
This isn't timeless.
No, whatever they want. It's very much of the time. The other big thing that's going to get people to subscribe to Netflix that also dropped yesterday or today, I forgot, Stranger Things Season 2.
Geek boner.
I have watched.
Already out.
It was out. Yep, it's out. I watched 2 episodes. Already seen 2 episodes. It's very good. Great, more of the same from last season. Great continuation.
Great cunt.
Great cunt. No, I didn't say that. But you got some new people. You got Sean Astin. You got Fat Frodo, Fat Rudy. He's in it playing what he always plays now is like the mom's new husband or the mom's schlubby boyfriend. Like that's every Sean Astin role in the last 10 years. He does it well. And you got Paul Reiser playing evil scientist guy, which he also plays well, and he's played that before. So it's good. I
haven't seen it yet.
I'm just saying, I can't wait to watch the rest. There's only 9 episodes.
Stop talking.
The reason I mention this is that Netflix is getting into the after show business, made popular by Chris Hardwick and like Talking Dead. And
do you like that
show?
show?
I used to watch them all the time, and I've stopped watching them. Orphan Black had a show. Mr. Robot had a show.
I hate after shows.
So
I fucking hate
when
them
I
too.
heard that they're launching one for Stranger Things, I was like, how the fuck? It's called Beyond Stranger Things. At first, I was like, how the fuck are you supposed to do this? Because the whole idea of after show is you got one episode and then everyone's on the same page and you watch the after show.
Well, this is the thing I don't like about after shows. Is that they're never critical.
Yeah.
They have to like blow the show.
After shows are too masturbatory.
They really are. And this one is going to be no different. It's hosted by Jim Rash, who is the principal on Community. And it's going to have stars from the show, the executive producer, and the Duffer Brothers, the creators. So,
sounds like they'll be real critical.
Nobody's saying anything critical.
The only after show I've liked is Game of Thrones because it's like 5 minutes long.
That's not an after show, though.
I know, but it is after the show, so technically it would be an after show.
Inside the episode.
Yeah, but anything like that,
where
it's like them kind of explaining their thought process on what the character motives are is way better.
This is your typical after show that everyone knows. It's a round table, everyone's sitting around shooting the shit.
Oh, how'd that feel to film that?
Having fun. So this is how they're going to do it. All 7 episodes of the after show have also come out, and they said you have to watch all the Stranger Things, and then you can watch the after show because don't do it one at a time. You got to watch the whole season first, and then you can appreciate some behind the scenes shit, whatever. But I just thought that was interesting that like Netflix has a fucking.
It has to be done like a behind the scenes thing and not really like a let's like blow each other. Because I don't.
Chris Hardwick doing?
No, it's Jim Rash. Jim Rash, who's going to blow all of them anyways.
Oh my God, the best Walking Dead episode ever.
But
he like whores himself so much in that fucking after show.
He's making shitloads of money whoring himself out to being the nerd. So Stranger Things Season 2, again, listener, if you've seen it, send us your thoughts. I want to know what you thought of the show.
I'd want to make a ton of money too, and I probably would do the same thing and cut my balls off and have no opinion about anything, but I'd find it very annoying.
Kevin Smith kind of suffers the same thing now too.
He's terrible too.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Nobody is blaming you for hosting the show and being that guy, but the point is that who wants to watch
you're getting paid to make a giant commercial for the fucking show.
Yeah.
Now, the Game of Thrones, behind the scenes, inside the episode bits are so good, but this is like a little talk show with the studio audience. Last thing in the news for Netflix and our news section for today, Vincent D'Onofrio coming back. Daredevil Season 3 confirmed, and we got a new show runner for the Season 3. Season 2 had Marco Ramirez. This season's showrunner, his name is Eric
RZA.
It's not the RZA, although it should be. All of the Wu-Tang should get directing jobs making Marvel TV shows. No, producer Eric Olison, who's produced Arrow and The Man in the High Castle, which I heard is a very good show. He's named
better than Arrow.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's been named the new showrunner for season 3, and
they need a new showrunner.
Yes, because
the guys that did season 2, I think, also did Defenders.
Ugh. Well, at least it wasn't Scott Buck.
No,
Keep
Scott
him
Buck is fucking
far
awful.
away from anything.
You still watching Inhumans? I bet you are.
I'm gonna watch it. I watched the second episode. I don't even remember what happened. Maybe I watched the third episode.
Well, I think we all watched the second. The first and second episodes was one week.
The third episode.
Yeah.
I watched one more and I don't remember. I've been watching other stuff. I'll watch it one day. There's another article. The ratings are horrible, and IMAX just came out today, and they were like, "Yeah, we made a mistake picking up on the Inhumans. We thought it was going to be better."
Did they say that really?
They were like, we're going to be more conservative with these things in the future. Is the words they used.
Conservative.
Yeah, they're like, shit.
Fucking take a risk. Do something cool.
They said they were expecting a big budget show and not a TV pilot, which is what we got in IMAX. So
that's what you would think.
That's
right?
what you would think. Yes.
That if you're throwing something on IMAX, but you'd go hard in the paint.
No.
Yeah.
No paint at all. Soft in the paint bucket. I don't know. I think that's a sports
You understand
term.
that reference?
Yeah, it's a basketball.
Oh,
basketball, right?
Yeah.
I
just realized what you guys are talking about.
Sports.
Soft in the paint.
Who cares? Jock said that.
There you go.
But D'Onofrio being back gives me hope they're going to do Born Again storyline. And
I hope so.
They teased it, right?
Yeah.
Because he gets picked. He gets. He's in the nun
with
house.
Sister Maggie, who may or may not be his mom, his biological mom, which is like the first page in Born Again. That would be cool. I've missed the D'Onofrio as the Kingpin. He's amazing. But
why do you throw "the" in front of people's
names?
It's
a very Midwest thing. Like I'll do it when I'm like, I'm going to the Jewels, or I'm going to.
Is it a Midwest thing?
I think it's a Midwest thing. I put the.
I've never said that in my life.
Really? Yeah. All right, maybe it's brain damage.
Yeah, it doesn't work when you're talking from someone who is also from the Midwest.
Yeah, but Anthony comes from a different side of the street than I grew up on. I don't know.
There you go.
It's city. I don't know. I put the in. David Letterman used to also do that, and he's from Gary, Indiana. This is why I made the connection that this must be a Midwest.
I was genuinely curious.
Gary,
Indiana.
Home of the Jackson 5, also though. Come on.
Anything named after Gary.
Gary, Indiana. Keep your windows and car doors locked, and just keep driving.
Yeah, the skyline consists of industrial smokestacks. That's really what they're.
Keep driving.
Don't open the windows.
Maybe go to the casino.
There's a casino?
That's in Hammond.
That's in Hammond. That's closer. Yeah, don't go to Gary, but I will continue to put "the" in front of things just like this. That is the end of the news. We're going to take a quick break, play a couple of promos of some independent pods you guys should check out, and we'll continue with The Walking Dead.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Do you like superheroes? Do you like movies, television shows, and comic books? Do you like listening to a guy rant about these things for hours on end? Well, then you're in luck, because you need to check out Podcapers, the official podcast of A Place to Hang Your Cape. Featuring me, Scott James Meridew, we'll be talking about a variety of geek and nerdy issues, joined each week by a rotating panel of guests that will try to contain me. Joke's on them, I cannot be contained. So please join us on Podcapers, the official podcast of A Place to Hang Your Cape, where superheroes go to relax, but I never do. Cue the music!
Hey there, everyone. My name's Carlos.
And I'm Joe.
Are you wondering what Captain America has to say about fascism, what the Iron Giant has to do with communism, or whether or not George Bush is the real Batman?
Well, you are now. Have all your newfound questions answered on Thunder Smash, as Carlos and I, and a parade of guests, dive into the nitty-gritty of your favorite nerdy stories to find out what they have to say about life's big philosophies and ideas.
You can hear it all on www.thundersmash.com.
See you there.
Doc and Nerd.
Thanks for listening, listener. That's a lot of listens. you, listener, are listening to this now, hearing
fuck off, listener.
Fuck off, listener. But if you don't want to fuck off and you enjoy the show and you want more show, let me tell you what you got to do. You got to join our awesome fan club on Patreon. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon, where for a low monthly pledge, you will get access to bonus podcast episodes every week. And we got another new patron.
Another one.
This one.
Another one.
It's got
another one.
This dude's got a great name, probably my favorite Patreon name, possibly. Huge shout out and thank you to Bosco Gabriel.
Wow.
For joining the fan club, supporting the show. Bosco, I love saying your name. It reminds me of the Seinfeld episode.
None of our parents named them with normal names.
Bosco.
Call your kid Bobby. No. Bosco.
Bosco and Chocolate Tane. Yes.
Yeah. Tane. Rain. Tane.
You guys know, do you know the Seinfeld episode? You guys know what Bosco is?
Isn't it chocolate?
I know where Costco is.
It's not Costco. Bosco is the original chocolate syrup from the 20s that you mix.
That's like Chocolate Tane.
It's Chocolate Tane. Yes, look. We tie it all together.
Oh, shit.
I know where Roscoe Village is.
Roscoe Village, great place to hang out.
I know Roscoe Peacock Train from
Boss Hog, Dukes of Hazzard.
He was an underling.
That flag on top of that card takes on a whole new meaning. You watch the show now. Let me tell you what.
You can't watch it anymore.
It's very awkward. It's very awkward. But Bosco Seinfeld episode and chocolate syrup, and I just imagine Bosco has siblings, and their names are Ovaltine and Strawberry Nesquik is his sister's name.
My sister Nesquik. No, he's gonna stop listening immediately.
Bosco, don't stop listening. You are awesome. And if you want to be like Bosco,
be made fun of by us.
Hashtag be like Bosco.
Is he from Moscow?
Bosco from Moscow went to the Costco to get some Roscoe.
He's reliving his childhood right now.
He's like
all of the fucking bullies.
He's having like traumatic flashbacks.
Sorry.
Look, my name is Imran Bosco.
But we have a jock here. He should be doing this, but it's Imran. The nerd is doing it.
You think I'd know better with a fucking
tables have turned. It's 2016, baby.
With a 2016. What fucking year are you in?
It's a fucking inside joke.
That was last year. Oh. Inside to who? Not us.
Barstool Sports.
Okay. Bosco, thank you for joining. Be like Bosco, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Okay.
What year are you on?
I don't know what.
I'm trying to get to 2018.
I can't wait till.
I choose to believe it's 2016.
Okay. This is the Mandela effect. I will agree to disagree.
I mean, really, though, what year? 2017 is not the year. This isn't really the year.
It's technically, the number is arbitrary. Yes.
Yeah, because we started it when fucking Christ was born.
Right. It's been 2017 years.
It's like way more time.
So the year is actually like 19765394331.
Yeah, it's something crazy. It's an absurd number.
Time is a elusive bitch.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's a fucking drop in the bucket, depending on how much time the universe has been around.
It is a blink.
Actually, it's like 300 years after Jesus died.
Is it?
Is that when they started?
Yeah, because the Romans co-opted the religion and then restarted the calendar.
Oh, this isn't the fucking hardcore
and the
history
fucking
podcast.
Romans crucified the man.
Yeah, 300 years earlier.
Yeah.
Or ridiculous, like maybe 100 years earlier. It was like a long time before they decided to... I don't want to do a lesson.
Like
this whole year thing is bullshit.
It really is, which is why when Y2K happened,
find that
nothing
Chinese
happened.
Thing.
Yes.
What's the Chinese?
Chinese are like 5,000. The Muslim calendar is at like 15 something. The Jewish calendar is like 5,000 something.
We need to find the real year.
There is no real year. Time doesn't exist.
We're like 300,000, 400 million billions.
Where's the first person that was born on Mesopotamia?
Well, do you think when it was like year one, everyone was like, "What year is it?" They're like, "I don't know, one."
No, they were trying to figure out what to eat and like how to have sex. That's what they were doing.
They're trying not to get eaten.
Sex, and comfort.
Yes.
I think if you want to go back to where the first man was or whatever, it's like, I don't know, something like 100,000 years ago.
So we're at least like 100,000.
How many?
Or maybe you can even go back far as 200,000 at least, maybe even more.
When was the wall put up and the White Walkers were created? That's year zero, according to the first men. Oh, that's different.
That shit could have all happened. We don't know.
That could, like Game of Thrones could be something we went through and it all got erased and we restarted.
When now we're going to start to remember it again?
No. I think we reset civilization maybe 6, 7, 8 times.
I'm just saying this year's thing is bullshit.
I think it's in the ether. Like it, I don't know.
I love smelling ether. You get a nice buzz off that. Put it in a napkin and hold it up.
Are we going to talk about Walking
Dead?
Yes,
there we go. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Walking, thanks for bringing us back on track, Ruggs. For the Ruggs to be the one to do it is surprising.
I know. I like a good tangent.
Season 8 premiere, The Return of Walking Dead, the 100th episode. The beginning of the all-out war story arc from the comics. And, well, I was confused by a lot of things that happened in this episode. I'm just going to start there. How about some positives, fellas? What did we like about this 100th episode, season 8 premiere?
I liked that they put armor on the cars and they killed all the Negan's dudes.
The armor thing was kind of cool with the kind of makeshift tanks.
Like
Smart.
All the lookouts.
Yeah. The sniper. They were sniping them.
I'll piggyback on that. I would say like the first, until they get to Negan's compound, and if you eliminate all the weird cuts where he's old and like he's crying.
Yes.
That other part, the storyline where they're like killing people and was it Taryn? The girl chewing on the Twizzler?
Yeah, Tara.
Her chewing on a Twizzler was nice. That was good.
Yeah.
And their like whole plan leading up to it, I thought was pretty solid.
I like that there's possibly a Muslim guy.
Oh, shit.
In there. The guy was quoting the Quran. I was like, oh, shit, there's a Muslim guy. He's a Muslim guy. Shoot him. I mean, don't shoot him. Go talk to him. But I'm surprised they didn't shoot the Muslim guy. I like the call. There was lots of like Easter eggs and callbacks to the first episode. You guys notice like same sequences, like when Carl drives up and parks next to the overturned truck and walks out with the gas can and like that is exactly the first scene of the show.
Looks underneath the car, right?
Yes, all of that is shot for shot. It was with Rick. It's the very first scene of the first episode. I kind of like that attention to detail. Also, I thought the walkers look fucking phenomenal. A lot of unique, special looks. So you get a lot of close looks. The makeup, of course, is always good.
Right.
But a lot of things were very confusing to me. First of all, the use of Weird Al Yankovic's song, Another One Rides the Bus, in the flash forward, whatever it was, one of the flash forwards. I was like, why this song? Why is it parodies?
Honestly, I didn't even notice.
So it parodies Another One Bites the Dust.
No, I know what that song is. I didn't notice that it played.
Yeah, captions tell you everything. But gotcha. Also confusing, like they're showing us 3 timelines. What's going on? It
was real fucking weird.
Right?
Real weird, strange.
I couldn't get a handle on it, exactly what was going on. So I didn't give a shit about it.
Okay, so overall, what'd you think?
To me, it was just fucking distracting.
Yeah. Plus, it's kind of spoiling, like it's showing you who, like these people survive. Obviously, they're showing you a future. Is it a future? It's not a dream. I don't know. And what was?
Why are they going to this? That's the thing. This seems like if you're going to end the show,
yes,
that's what you do, because like you can use it to tie, make some kind of metaphor or do something like big. But from what I know, the show isn't ending this season.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge.
That would be great for the last season.
All right. So why are they doing this now in the crux of an important story arc that needs to happen so we can move on with this story? Because we've been in deadlock, decompressed, nothing happening for like 2 seasons now.
Oh, Scott Gimple, the producer, really loved Lost, and this reminded me of Lost. And
look at what happened with Lost.
Exactly.
They completely shit the bed.
I don't think that's a good choice. Like, and they've never done like these kind of time jumps in this show. If you've read the comics, the time jumps are Easter eggs for alluding to a storyline in the future. But it's just weird that they're showing us this.
It seems like to me that they're trying to be like cute and like kind of artsy with the way they're telling their story.
Bit, yes.
They're trying to be Breaking Bad.
Yeah, they're trying to be Breaking Bad. They're trying to be Lost. They're trying to be Game of Thrones.
It's not working for me. But to me, that's not even the biggest.
What was the biggest thing that made no sense?
Well, I'll just say this.
Yeah.
I would fucking quit this show if I wasn't this deep in.
Right? We've invested so much time. Look, there's a series. I mean, there's a series of things. Yeah.
And if people want to jump, if you guys want to jump in and take some of the credit for saying this stuff, feel free. But once they get to the fucking compound, this show just becomes terrible again.
Yeah, a lot of things.
Like the writing, especially. Like why? I can't believe that the writers are this dumb. Because the whole up to this point, Rick is like, we just got to kill Negan.
Yes, and they're killing all his guards. Like, just fucking killing
but that's
people,
fine.
Right?
Whatever.
Yes.
They're killing the guards. That's fine. They have to do that to get to
But he
Negan.
does say there's one guy that needs to die,
right?
Over and over again. Yeah.
So then they get there. Negan fucking strolls his fucking ass out wide in the open. He's there to kill. They have plenty of opportunities to kill him. They give the lieutenants a way out. Then they do this. I'm going to count down 10.
And he does it. He goes to 7.
He does the fake out.
Yes.
So he has an even bigger advantage because Negan's not expecting him. He's expecting him to count down to 1. Shooting at him at 7. Everybody fucking misses. Are you fucking kidding me?
I can't imagine just everyone sitting there watching it, just yelling, "Shoot him now! What are you doing?"
No, but everyone is shooting.
You do this to us?
Why?
They do this all the time in Walking Dead. It's like they make it seem like it's all or nothing, and then one thing will derail the whole entire thing. Whereas if it really is all or nothing and you're going to war, you take losses, you take chances, you do whatever it takes. So you never really feel that they're really going all out.
No.
You always feel like that anything is any fucking little stitch is gonna hold them up. So if it's like and not only that, but the writing, they write it this way.
Yeah.
It would have never happened in real life.
No.
If I was gonna go take out somebody that I had to take out, and they're standing there like with their fucking dick hanging out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot them.
And
I'm not gonna wait and talk to them for any other reason or whatever. Especially if I said it multiple times that he has to die. So they're writing it in a way that is not true to itself.
The whole episode up to that point, it's the first episode, keep in mind.
Yeah.
And the whole episode, they're going, it ends today. It all ends today. And no one with a brain thinks it's ending today. So why the fuck would you write it that way?
Like when they were standing there and talking, and when I'm like, just shoot him now. Why aren't you shooting him now? I'm like, oh, maybe it's
But that's
because
the thing. They shouldn't have even written it so that they're at that point to shoot him.
Right.
They should not be that close.
For example, like Negan has always been ahead of the game, right?
Yeah.
He's always been like a few steps ahead of them all the time.
Yeah.
So it would make more sense if they say all this shit, like all this hyperbole, they're going to kick his ass, they're going to kill him. And then Negan somehow subverted their attempt. But he didn't. He was he's hanging out there.
Standing there. Yes.
He was there ready to quote some nursery rhymes again.
So it's okay if you build up drama and then it gets stopped by the bad guy being more smart or more thought out or having a trap laid out or something like that. I mean, we're getting tired of that too, but even worse is when you have him do nothing and then he still doesn't get shot and still doesn't get killed. And then another thing that I really fucking hate is that you've had the priest guy fuck up things all the time in the past, and then you bring him and he fucks up again. So he's still doing the same
stupid
fucking dumb
Gregory
shit.
and stupid fucking Gabriel.
Even before that, it's just a series of mind-numbingly bad writing.
Yes.
You have Negan not get shot. Yeah, I think he gets shot maybe in the leg.
He gets shot in the leg. Yeah, he's limping.
But then you have them just shooting at windows, which I feel like, what the fuck
Well,
are
that's
they
a
doing?
plan, I think, to get the dead inside that.
What was the
Yeah,
plan?
true.
I didn't understand what the fucking plan
No,
was.
they were trying to get the dead in there. I know that, but they were like shooting at the windows. I'm like, okay, this is kind of stupid. But then, as Rug Boy mentions, Gabriel again does something fucking stupid and decides to save Gregory. But that's not the worst part.
Yeah.
He's like, gets out from the fucking car and he's like to Gregory, wait. We'll have our opportunity to run. Then he fucking proceeds to watch Gregory's ass run to the car that he just got out of and drive it away. Are you kidding me?
And he has a gun. Just shoot him. Who cares?
He has a gun, and if Gregory can fucking stroll his ass back to the car you just got out of, I'm sure you can follow him.
Yeah, Gregory's more of a pussy than Gabriel is.
Yes. Right. Just fucking shoot him the whole time. And then at the end, he gets trapped in with Negan, but Gabriel has a fucking machine gun.
Yes.
Negan just has a bat. Why is this taking so long?
Why doesn't he turn and shoot him?
Why doesn't he just turn and shoot him? And then when they were talking, I was like, Rick, maybe Rick doesn't want to shoot Eugene. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Kill them all. It's casualties of war. I didn't understand the plan. Like, why is she timing? She's timing these zombies. But do they just like walk in a big circle? Like, what is she timing?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can time them, yeah.
But like, where are they? They're always going. They're always showing up at the same time. They're just.
I didn't have as much of a problem with the zombie plotline.
Yeah.
It's just the human stuff. You do want the zombie. If there is a herd of zombies, you do want, and the saviors had the numbers.
Yeah,
you'd want the zombies to kind of help you.
Yeah, which was, I guess, that was the plan.
Well, although Daryl running around on a motorcycle and the zombies keeping up is kind of strange.
I did like the explosions, though. That was kind of cool. Look, does this hold water? Here's what producer Scott Gimple has said about why didn't Rick just shoot Negan. He says what shouldn't be glossed over is Rick is offering surrender to everyone else. He wants them to more or less be on his side
if you
that.
were doing that, you would have everyone else reaction to that.
Yeah.
There is no reaction. There's no shot of anybody else there except for the four of them.
But he doesn't want
poor
to be
storytelling right there.
He says if he just shot Negan there would have been a shortcut to the war. He was making a play to not be in full violence with these people because you see what happens after that. In fact, if in fact Negan's other lieutenants had given up, it would have been over.
No shit. Is that what you want? Isn't that the whole point?
The whole time he's like, we got to end it. We're going to kill Negan.
Well, there's an easy right around right there.
Yeah.
Have the lieutenants come out. Don't have Negan come out. Offer surrender to the lieutenants. The lieutenants don't surrender. Don't have Negan come out.
Don't have Negan come out at all.
When Negan comes out, that whole storyline goes to shit.
Exactly.
That the Gregory
Dimple
bit
is trying to cover up bullshit. That's all.
The Gregory bit was right from the comics, where he kind of turns on them. You know, he shows up.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and then even Negan's kind of wrote stupidly. So he comes out with a fucking baseball bat. Doing his nursery rhyme shit again. Then he's got Gregory like as if, Gregory's his ace in the hole. Gregory's going to say to them, hey, you guys surrender. You're with me. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Does he not know that fucking Gregory sucks?
Yeah, I guess
you can just tell by his leadership that Gregory has absolutely no power over anything either. So even Negan's written like a dumbass.
Yeah, why does he fall for this? That's a good point. Negan
no one falls for it because Gregory isn't a character that anyone would look up to.
Now, what's the water cooler banter about this episode? Is everybody like incensed by it, or are people like, oh, it was cool, I loved it?
I looked on Forbes.
Yeah,
I kind of like their reviews, and they were like, this has gone to shit.
Well, it's fun.
This has been shit, and it's still shit.
It was weird. I was listening to Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said he just watched the premiere, and he was like, I loved it. And I'm like, my respect was. I always have high respect for him, but I can't believe that he liked it. He should have been critical on it, but to be fair, it's Cocktober on the Howard Stern show right now. They're doing a whole month of cock things, so I don't know if his head's in the game right now.
So what's weird number wise, it is still the AMC's biggest hit, but this premiere was a 5-year low for the show. 11.4 million viewers, 43% drop from last season.
Good. I mean, that's a high number.
Yeah,
people are getting fed up with this shit.
Yes.
And people are so fed up that they didn't even watch this.
Yes. Last season, it was 17 million.
Yeah, they lost 6 million.
A lot of people didn't come back. They have interesting numbers. The season averages. I couldn't believe,
like, when fucking Gabriel's sitting there and he watches Gregory drive off in the car that he was supposed to drive off in.
You're like what a dummy.
5 seconds after he tried to save him, I'm like,
you're a dummy.
Are you serious? And it's like, I know Gabriel's always been kind of a dummy, but like, dude, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so badly written. Like, you couldn't follow him. You couldn't just get up and follow him to the car.
No. Like, why did you just let him walk away?
Why did you watch him walk into the car you were just in?
What are you doing? Just fucking. First of all, why are you trying to save him?
And then when you're in with Negan and you're shoot the fucker.
Well, the other thing is they've been sniping their guards the whole time. Why did somebody just fucking snipe him now? Like, what are you doing? You clearly are good at sniping from a distance.
Yeah, that was, I think I saw that on the Forbes, is like, they should have had, if they were smart, they would have had a sniper out there and just fucking shot his ass.
Just take it down. I found this interesting article from Cracked, of all places, saying what The Walking Dead needs to steal from Game of Thrones, and their whole thing is basically the show needs to do what the writers will not do and end it. The writers need to do what the creator doesn't want to do. Write an ending. Finish the show. Kind of like what they did with the Game of Thrones. After
I know you read the comics, Imran?
Yeah.
And you might like Negan.
Yeah.
And I know there was a lot of build up to Negan, but although the show was getting shitty up until Negan premiered, Negan's been one of the worst things to happen to the show.
And in the comics, there's a lot more Negan shit ahead if they're going that way. That could easily last them a bunch of years.
That character, who plays him?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I know he's trying to do the comic thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It's not working.
It's
the whole nursery rhyme bad guy that leans up against everything and looks like the Fonz is just not. It's not there. It's not working.
It works way better on paper. I will give you that.
This Walking Dead was way better. Like when the governor was the main villain.
Yeah.
Like he was the villain because even though he was shitty, you could still see why he was doing the things he was doing. and he was still a human.
Yeah.
Like kind of like Game of Thrones, where like the characters are bad and they're good.
Yes.
Governor was bad. He was also fucking good.
Yeah.
Negan is like not even a real character.
That what's interesting is in the comics,
he's just straight out of the comics.
They improved the governor in the show because in the comics he was also a one-note just psychopath. So the governor we got on the show was way better. Now this Negan is exactly like
but
the Negan.
Negan's
in
not
the
even
comics.
a psychopath. It's just like
he's just this fucking kooky guy.
He's just this guy trying to be like super charismatic and think of like amazing one-liners, even in times where you wouldn't think of amazing one-liners, like you're about to shit your fucking pants.
He's like basically like a totalitarian or fascist leader, like the people like Hitler.
Yeah.
Like, the people who are behind him think he's the greatest guy, even though there's an element of them that think he's a little bit too crazy or too strict. And then to everybody else, he looks like a psychopath.
But
you know what I mean? Or like Kim Jong-un or whatever.
I know it. Yeah, I could see that what they're going for.
Yeah.
But do you think Hitler or Kim Jong-un is spitting nursery rhymes before they're about to kill somebody?
I don't know. I mean, Kim Jong-un might be spitting some crazy shit. You never know.
He might be. I just think he's a god king.
Look at the shit that Trump's saying. So it's like...
I think Kim Jong-un is a old school hip-hop fan, so he's probably rapping some shit with Dennis Rodman.
Third base.
But, I mean, what kind of leader walks out with like... after gunfire with no guns whatsoever and starts monologuing to the people that are about to kill him?
It's just in front of him. So the other thing, while watching the show,
I hated this so bad.
After the big break, watching it back, I didn't feel the connection I had to the group anymore. Like they're just as shitty murderers as the other side, and I was almost like, I don't know. It became like Game of Thrones, but not in a good way. Because I don't know who to root for.
The Forbes article was like that they need to cut down the cast.
Yeah. It's too big. Kill some motherfuckers. Because I've lost the connection. Like, I didn't feel like I was with them in any of this. Like I had in the past. Like, I wasn't rooting for them. I don't know. It was very weird. And let me ask you this about the very end, where the line where Negan steps out of the dark and he's like...
the shitting pants?
Yeah, you got your shitting pants on?
Terrible.
Gabriel's like, what? Because you are about to shit your pants. Now...
He's like, you're shitting pants.
A line that's supposed to be menacing and scary and oh shit on paper, it just comes off kind of laughable, doesn't it?
But you think that this is laughable, but I'm Mary Poppins is viable.
Yeah, but that's not a fucking show that's trying to be this epic zombie end of the world apocalypse thing.
I'm just saying they're both out of place.
They're both out of place.
Well, the Mary Poppins thing, it works in my opinion because the character at that point and the references to the 80s and all that stuff. I don't know. To me, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're shitting pants. I mean, you just got shot in the leg. The guy's got a gun.
The
guy you're talking to has got a gun.
Yeah. What?
You're surrounded by zombies.
He must just have like a notebook of one-liners that he brushes up on. Like, it sounds so written and like so contrived. Like, it doesn't sound natural. By the way, though, you can actually buy Negan's own shittin' pants diapers off shopthewalkingdead.com, $20. It's got Negan on there. It says Lucille approved. I'll put a link in this picture in the show notes. It says, treat your butt like a sanctuary. Negan's own shittin' pants. I thought it was pretty funny that they're going to make some money off this. I might buy one, wear them to the office. I guess
what I like this episode, Imran?
No. So in the Talking Dead, it was like a 2-hour Talking Dead. Scott Gimple's like, the first 4 episodes are crazy. There's definite change from the first half and the second half. He's like, strap in, but it could be a load of horse shit. I was just confused, but I think we're supposed to be a little bit confused.
Yeah.
But I was more confused by like the parts that weren't supposed to make it confused. Like, what's
even the confusing stuff? Like it looks like it's a dream sequence when he's old, and then the other one when he's like crying.
Yeah, what is
and
that?
Like, but I don't know. It didn't even intrigue me. I'm like, I've seen fucking Rick cry.
Yeah,
Rick's a little pussy. I've seen him cry.
The one little connection I thought was cool is Rick says in the one scene where he's sweating, and the one he says, "Have mercy, prevail over my wrath." That is the same quote the Muslim guy told Carl when they first met. And the title of the episode is called Mercy. Now, if you've read the comics, this is hinting at a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the comics. So I don't know if this is going to lead to somewhere, if they have learned their lesson, if they're going to continue to troll us like they have been. I don't know. He should have just shot all of them. What the fuck are you doing? I like the RV bomb. That was clever.
Yeah, it was clever.
And now, so where we left off, they're overrun with zombie horde.
The compound is overrun with zombies.
And they're back at their headquarters, and he gives a big speech.
Well, weren't they like going after other compounds still?
I didn't understand. Like, were they showing flashbacks at the end? It was confusing. They were at the satellite compound that they first took. And he gives a big like pep talk. Are we going to continue watching this? I guess is my question now.
I have to.
Yeah, I guess after.
You got to see it through just to be a completist.
This far in, but this show could never end. Then what happens?
I feel like it's going to go the way of Lost, where it's going to end, but everybody's going to kind of be like, "What did I just do? What did I just watch? I should have stopped watching."
Yes.
Like in the fourth season.
And so, as far as viewers,
real quick side note: Fear the Walking Dead. I heard season 3 is actually pretty good.
Really?
That's what I heard.
I have
like
that on my.
The villains aren't really villains. Like there's like a racist guy, and there's like a Indian, like a Native American dude.
Well, I'll tell you what. One good thing they did is they brought Salazar back the first half of this season, which I love Salazar. Also, they've said sometime in 2018 there will be a Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead crossover. Geek Boner has been confirmed.
Okay, whatever.
As far as peak viewers, that same article about the view, and it's interesting. Season 5, this thing had 20 million average viewers. That was the peak.
What was season 5?
I don't remember.
I forget too. But season 5 is where it peaked, and it's been going down. I'm gonna look it up
by 2 million viewers each season. Yeah, what happened in this
Terminus?
Season? Oh, okay.
Terminus was cool.
The cannibals.
The hospital. Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, where what's-her-name gets killed.
And then they found Alexandria, so it ends with them finding Alexandria.
Oh, that was... Yeah, they were all split up for a while, and then they had that big reunion.
Hey, the Terminus stuff was like when they blew the fuck out of Terminus.
Yeah, it was Carol, right? She comes and fucking saves them. And I gotta say, at the end of that season, when they're all reunited, it was actually really well-deserved. It was heartfelt, and you were just so glad everyone was back together. But now, like, I could barely give a fuck about any of these people.
They got way too many characters.
I really don't.
Well, it's because we've been through years of this, and at some point, they can't stop. They have to stop making the same mistakes over and over again with the same characters and the same things. Like, you always have overconfident Rick, and then you have people who always fuck up all the time and never learn their lesson. And then you got guys who, for some reason, there's always a guy who doesn't want to kill anybody. It's like one guy, Morgan, and then it's Carol. Then who else wants to stop killing people?
They're all killy now, dude. They're all wearing armor.
Well, the thing about even like what's his name, Morgan, and like Carol is at least like they were different. They could at least provide like a little spice to the show, but now like everybody's on the same page.
I love Jerry. I would love to see more. Jerry is the big Asian dude that's Ezekiel's right-hand man.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry. And then Shivo's there, and Ezekiel.
And comparing this to Game of Thrones, I think another thing that's like kind of helps Game of Thrones is they just have so many different settings.
Yeah.
So it never feels redundant when you're watching these characters because you're like, okay, now I'm here, now I'm there, now I'm here. Whereas Walking Dead, even when they cut to different settings, it's still like in a forest or like a fucking shitty ass compound. Like it's all like the same kind of like there's no difference in like costumes or like settings or anything. It's all still the same. It's just more boring versions because you're spending an entire episode decompressed with fucking Carol picking apples or some shit. Like it's not that interesting.
Yeah, and you don't get those moments where characters don't meet for seasons and then they can finally get together, and it's just awesome.
8 seasons is a long time.
Yeah,
and there's no end game in sight. So this dream sequence thing seems out of place for this point in the game. I think they should have went 5 seasons max and then ended it.
Well, the end game would be what? Them being happy and finding a cure? Or coming to copes with living in the new world?
Yes, just the new status quo. They've all figured it out.
Rick becomes president.
Yeah.
They restart. There's an article from Cracked. He goes, The Walking Dead needs to figure out if it wants to be a TV show or a televised comic book like pro wrestling. If it chooses to be a show, it needs to take a page out of its main pop cultural adversary's playbook, it needs to pull a Game of Thrones and write the ending its creator isn't ready to.
You know what I read real quick on that Forbes article, which is really well done.
Yeah.
They were like, although it was following the comics, killing Glenn was a big mistake.
Yes.
Because Glenn was actually probably the only character that everyone universally liked and could root for. and he was like kind of like your Jon Snow, where he's always going to do the right thing. He's always going to be that moral compass for the show. And they've lost that, and now they don't have anybody that's like that. I guess Maggie, but Maggie's never. They didn't give Maggie a push at all last season.
Well, she's
pregnant. She's pregnant too. She can't do much.
Yeah, she's pregnant.
Oh, she's pregnant too, and she's showing no fucking baby bump.
Not yet.
How long has this bitch been pregnant?
Not long.
Yeah, that's also egregious.
Look, I think
I didn't think about that until you brought it up.
Yeah, and she mentions it, and I was like, oh, that's right. I forgot she's fucking pregnant. I think Glenn's death would have been meaningful had they not trolled us and faked it like 3 times. You would have...
And killed someone else
yes,
prior to
instead,
that.
yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah, trolled us, basically, yes.
Like,
but that could have worked if they would have been like, okay, this is no longer Rick's show. It's now Maggie's show.
Yeah.
Maggie's going to take the fucking reins because her fucking husband just died. And she's like the better leader. But they didn't. They didn't go that route. We didn't even see why Maggie's running Hilltop.
Because Gregory's a piece of shit.
That's
I don't know.
Yeah.
She did help him out in that one thing last season and just kind of took over. But yeah, why are they behind her? I don't know. I don't know where this is going. We will continue to watch.
I mean, look, it started off pretty bad. It can only get better from here, hopefully. And I'm saying that knowing they could get much worse, but I'm hoping that this is all. There is a chance that there is a plan that's going to kind of clear up all this stuff and make it make sense.
Yes,
there is. There's a shot.
Yes, I'm
hoping.
hoping.
One character that interests me right now.
Who is that?
Dwight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's the most conflicted. He's got that conflicted thing where he's a double agent.
Yeah, he's
weird. Like he has a real fucked up. He is like kind of like that Game of Thrones where like. You hated this motherfucker. Yeah,
but then you found out what he went through.
But then you found out why he was the way he is. And now you're finding out that he's actually got some good in him. So he's a bad guy and a good guy. He's got some depth to him.
They were exchanging message arrows.
Right.
With Daryl. So, yeah. And, I mean, Carol is like the only character that's had kind of an arc of any kind.
She's back to the same point she was before.
Now, yeah. She's back to Rambo Carol.
We know they're not going to kill Negan because he doesn't die in the comic books, and they keep him as a prisoner, and then other shit happens. But I just think that they wrote it in a way that it was just pissed people off who have a half a brain.
They kind of wrote themselves into a hole a little bit with this, the way they've been doing it. So, let me ask you something, Rick. He said that like Shane in the first episode, which I think was intentional also. And then he takes Polaroids. Like, that was a little dig at them because then they take Polaroids when they bash somebody's head in.
To me, what's interesting is going to see, okay, this would be interesting to me to watch, is that the capture of Negan and him kind of still being like confident that he's going to get broken out and that his men are going to follow him, and then him finally breaking and saying that his men are not following him, they're going to follow Rick, and then that Rick has control over his men and all of the stuff that he built now Rick has, and watching him kind of acquiesce to being Rick's bitch. I would like to see that transformation. All right?
Yeah. Would you buy if sometime in the future Rick and Negan are on the same side and they're working together?
That's fine. But it has to come after Negan has been fucking just dragged into the ground and made into dust.
And broken.
Well, and you also have to kind of explain Negan's character, like his motivations. Like you still don't know anything about the guy.
No, you don't. I mean,
if a fucking show can make me like Jaime Lannister, it's possible.
That's true.
I mean, that's a good point. Game of Thrones ends with Jaime Lannister, and you're like, he's going to fight with the good guys.
Is there a Negan backstory in the comics? Because I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah, they didn't do it in the main story. It was like a side issue. And it was something like his wife had cancer, and then it happened, and then she died, something like that.
Well, even if they gave him like a code, like Dr. Doom, where he won't do this.
Well, he doesn't rape.
Right? Yeah, that's his only thing.
He helps, but he also rapes. He's not like Bill Cosby. He's the opposite.
Well, the best part about Negan,
he Weinsteins them.
Yeah,
the best part about Negan,
he Weinsteined them.
He is a shitty. I mean, he is a shitty person, but this is why the show is written so poorly. Rick did gun down like all of his fucking people at that satellite place in cold blood while they were sleeping.
Yes, he started it, and from Negan's...
And Negan really only killed 2 people.
Yeah, he went easy. From Negan's point of view, like, I can understand...
I didn't know shit about you until you killed all my men.
Listen, Negan was
just... it would be great if he was more ambiguous in character, but they make him like such an asshole.
Yeah.
Like a cheesy asshole, but that's kind of like what he is in the comics, but he has a little more depth in the comic book.
Hey, man, not everything in the comics is the fucking gospel.
No, it's not. Clearly, with this show, it's a very interesting study. Like, if you study the Game of Thrones source material and then what they did with that versus Walking Dead source material and what they did with it on the show, it's very fascinating what both parties did and where they diverted and where the book ends and the thing begins.
Something for you to begin.
I got your beginning here. Couple of side notes. Robert Kirkman's got a new show coming out on AMC November 12th. It's called The Secret History of Comics. It's a documentary series about the secret history of comics. So,
oh, no shit.
He's all in. That's I like those kind of documentaries. Also, there's lawsuit. There's been this lawsuit. Have you guys heard about the lawsuit?
No.
Basically, all of the executive producers like Frank Darabont, Glenn Mazzara, Robert Kirkman, they're suing AMC for profits because AMC kind of devalued the show, kind of selling. There's like AMC movie studios and AMC TV, and they kind of like sold it to themselves and screwed the creators out of like millions of dollars. So there's this ongoing lawsuit, which is why in August, Robert Kirkman made a deal with Amazon Entertainment. He took all his Skybound properties that he makes, and he's gone over to Amazon. He's kind of done with the AMC, and he's
Skybound. Is that like a label?
Skybound is his like mini label that The Walking Dead is also put out under, as well as Image. Skybound is his thing. So kind of like the Mark Millar Netflix thing, Kirkman's got an Amazon deal, and he's going to be putting out original content over on Amazon. And everyone's like, fuck you, AMC, because you cheated us out of millions of dollars. Interesting things. See how that affects the show? I don't know.
Who knows? We'll see what happens, right?
We'll see. But you're right. We're way too deep into it to like stop watching. So, all right.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens next week.
It back.
We'll catch up in a couple episodes. Tell you what happened. I got an email here to read to finish the show out. And it's from our new Facebook group dude, Chocolate Tane Reese. He wrote in. I kind of combined 2 emails here. We were going back and forth. He says, hey, guys, I had the pleasure of coming across your podcast a few months ago. No, not like that. And I've been meaning to drop a line. I've listened to a lot of pods through the years, and you guys are right at the top of favorites for me. The format, content, production value, personalities, and humor are all blended into a very entertaining show. Where other pods will nail a few of those pieces, you have hit on them all. You are going places, I have no doubt. Yeah, right to the fucking alley, to the trash can. I can tell there's a lot of thought and time that goes into your weekly, motivated, energetic, creative people are my favorite in the multiverse. Then he asks, have you ever wondered why force-sensitive creatures don't just squish heads like the kids in the hall? Yoda picked up an X-Wing, for Christ's sake. You can't tell me a skull takes more power to crush than that. I understand sensitive on sensitive action probably cancels out, but during the Clone Wars, Dooku would have been popping trooper heads like ticks with zits from 100 yards. Or maybe I'm missing something. He says, I plan in the near future contributing to the pod financially. However, I have no digital existence with money. Weird, right? I have a recharge thingy, but I'm a farmer in South Central South Dakota, and the nearest town is 30 miles. But I will be helping when I can. You guys are cut from the same cloth as me, or I as you guys. Whichever. I'm a 40-year-old man-child who's read comics since childhood, heavy on the Marvel, like a lot. We could chat about anyone from Adam X to Wendell Vaughn. Anyway, it's been a real pleasure discovering the pod. Also, a Cubs fan. Maybe we're all related. And then he says, I also, a couple years back, he co-created a Facebook group called Geeko and plan to plug you guys there, too. I think it's going to be a good match. Not looking for an on-air plug. A new loyal listener.
Well, you just got an on-air plug.
For Geeko. Tane Reese, thanks for joining.
Facebook group called Geeko. I have not vetted it, so go ahead and look at it.
I joined it today.
I have no idea. It could be kiddie porn, but go ahead. Go check it out.
Well, the FBI already has my number.
I know it's not.
Chocolate Taint, thanks for writing in.
Any guy named Taint.
Well, listen, it's crazy when you hear like this great feedback and you're like, hey, we're awesome. So we should be everywhere, right?
Yes.
So spread the word if you like it.
Yes,
tell other people. Like, get more people listening to the show. We need more and more and more.
That's some deep cuts there. Adam X and Wendell Vaughn. Do you guys know who they are?
Isn't
Wendell Vaughn the Archangel?
Nope.
I thought he was a Sasquatch. No.
Who's Wendell? Who's Wendell?
He is Quasar.
Oh, Quasar.
That's
That's
right.
a deep cut
with the quantum bands.
Yes, and Adam X is like a mutant from the late 90s, early 90s.
Wendell Vaughn.
Wendell Vaughn is Quasar's name. I had to look it up.
Is it Quasar or Quasar?
I don't know how you say it. It's Crazy Quasar. We're slashing prices.
Queso
Fundito.
Yes, I put that on my nachos.
Yummy. Yes, spread the word. Listen, you know what? And emails like this, all you guys writing in, like it keeps me going. Because occasionally we're like, is this thing on? Is anybody fucking listening to this? What are we doing? And then I read this and I'm like, I'm good for a long. I guess we going. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, we gotta like advertise or something.
Fuck all that. Just
one of you bastards that listens to us that knows about advertising, talk to him.
Listen, Anthony is the sales guy. I'm the creative. So all I'm saying is someone could be pitching in a little bit more.
Oh, shit.
Who, Rug Boy?
Yes. No. Damn it. Can't get him to do anything.
No, I'm useless.
Rugs, where can the people find you online?
You can find me online on Twitter at ReallyRugBoy, where I am now facing off against or working with David Mobley's doppelganger. You guys don't know who this guy is, but it's great that it's basically some dude who now all of a sudden has someone cloning him in and no one gives a shit.
Listen, the real David Mobley account is the best thing that happened to me all year so far.
That was hilarious. And no one's going to understand.
No one's going to understand.
No one knows what we're talking about. We get it.
Yes, I have to put that.
It is pretty fucking funny.
It's the best thing ever. Oh my God. Whoever you are,
it's like
you
if
don't
someone
listen.
would all of a sudden clone your account and start fucking trolling people.
Well, now that we said that, we may have like troll Rug Boy accounts. Which
shit.
Boy, that could get messy. That could get really
I claim no responsibility.
Listener, look, subscribe to the show at Apple Podcasts. Leave us a rating. Leave us a review. We will read it. We'll share it. You can shout out your podcast. I'll shout out whatever you want. Your Facebook group. Just leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. And, of course, tell a friend. Spread the geekery. Go to the next person you see. Give them one of these.
Jock and nerd.
And they'll probably be very frightened, but that's okay because it's like Halloween, so...
If you're going to make a fake Rug Boy account and you get more followers than me, I would be really jealous. That's what's going to happen. It'll be like a huge boner killer for me.
I can see that. I can see that happening. Oh, cruel world. Look, check the website, jockandnerd.com, because Anthony finally noticed how awesome it is, didn't you, Anthony?
I did. I looked at and you're putting in a lot of work in that artwork on there.
I'm glad somebody fucking noticed.
And I finally noticed. I don't know how long you've been doing it.
Listen, it's a good looking site. That's all I'm saying. Visit
jockandnerd.com.
All the links are there.
Jock and Nerd, you did something different to it?
It's just a very slick looking, legit website. Like, it looks a lot better than we are, actually. Like, you would come across it and you'd be like, whoa, these guys got the shit together. And then you listen and you're like, wow, that was false advertising.
Oh, shit.
I feel like it's the same as it's always been, no?
Every
his images,
individual episode has its own little image,
and
it looks
the Photoshop shit.
It looks nice. It looks nice.
I like it. It does look good.
It does really look
very
good.
colorful.
Wow. That's very nice.
Somebody go visit the site just for my sanity.
It looks nice.
Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
Get your hand off my penis! Whoa! Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
Let's listen to the music.
I see that you know your judo.
Jock and Nerd.
Wind him up and watch him go. Here's Imran Javed.